Roundtable. Hope that you're doing well in your part of the world. How are you? You doing okay? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're up to. If you want to share any information or anything that's going on in your life, I'm here for it. This is where we get together with no agenda. We just come together as data professionals and talk. Excuse me, see what's going on. See what's going on in your world of data. So let me know, what are you reading? What are you coding? What are you excited about? What are you mad about? Guys, not every AI tool out there delivers, right? So come on, I know you've tried some bad AI tools. So feel free to share them in the chat if you'd like. I have started my day over here, and I had a little bit of a rough night last night. Didn't sleep so well, but I'm going to try to keep on muscle through. I almost canceled the live stream today, but I'm going to keep on muscling through because that's what we do. We keep on moving forward. So hope that you're doing well. It's a beautiful day in my part of the world. I got a couple things I want to take care of today. I'm gonna get my hair cut. Look at my hair, guys. My hair is terrible. So I'm really looking forward to all the work I'm gonna be doing next week at Microsoft Ignite. So gotta get a haircut. This haircut is not conference ready. This is not a conference haircut. So I'm looking forward to doing that a little bit later this morning. Gonna hang out with my dog. Gonna make some chicken. I made some really good chicken the other day, so I'm looking forward to making some more good chicken today. And yeah, just hanging out, having fun, seeing what's going on. Casual Economist says you should grow it out. Why? Why do you say that, Casual Economist? Why do you gotta toy with my emotions like that? No, my hair looks terrible grown out. Maybe I'll post some pictures from the pandemic, but during the pandemic, I didn't cut my hair for like 18 months. Because I took the pandemic very seriously. I was not going out or things like other people were, which is great because I avoided COVID for a long time. Um, but yeah, I do not look good with long hair. I do not look good with long hair. Not that it was that long. I mean, my hair grew pretty slowly. But no, no, casual economist. This is about as long as I like to let it get. And plus, you know what, casual economist? I think that with my balding, I think it'll look worse, right? Because I think if I had longer hair, it would make this even more noticeable. I think, right? So yeah, now I'm gonna go short again, casual economist. So I appreciate the suggestion, but nah, nah. I've always been a short hair guy. So yeah, get get the spray hair. Oh, that's hilarious. That there's a lot of memes on that right now, aren't there? The spray bottles. Yeah. I don't know what possesses somebody to do that. Like like obviously I could go to Turkey or Thailand or whatever to get the hair plugs, but I don't know what possesses somebody to do that either. I don't know. I'm just gonna age gracefully. I'm gonna accept my fate. I've shaved my head completely before. I've had a shaved head, so maybe I'll do that again at some point. Just for fun. Um, but yeah, I'm not a vain person. I'm not gonna get the spray hair or the plugs or all that stuff. I'd rather just embrace it. Like I've been. I'll be honest. I used to color my hair quite a bit, but I've been embracing the gray on the sides more. So I'm just gonna accept my fate, guys. I'm just gonna go over and just eventually I'll shave it all off and keep a bald head and all that. I'm bald and like my look. Yeah, yeah, casual economist, you're a good-looking guy. So yeah, you're embracing it too. I might do the same. So it's better than doing that whole LeBron James. Have you guys seen the what is it? The Inside NBA? Yeah, Inside NBA when they make fun of LeBron's uh, headband that he uses to cover his hairline. I mean, I'm definitely not going to do that, right? When the hairline reaches a certain point, you gotta say, all right, this is it. And I think I'm reaching that point. There's a lot of forehead here. Like, what is the algorithm for that, guys? What is the algorithm for the forehead exposure to say that your hairline is just too far back, right? Because you definitely don't want it to get back here, right? You don't want to be like half dome guy, right? I mean, that looks stupid, right? But at what point, like so casual economist, you tell me what's the algorithm here, right? Like how much do you know like you've crossed into the great divide, right? If you like go too far back or whatever. So I wonder if there's an algorithm for that. So let me know, guys. But yeah, eventually I'll join you, casual economist. I'll embrace the baldness. Jalen Brown spray here is washing off. That's right. That's right. The Inside NBA guys had a whole breakdown on that. I think they found like two or three examples where, I mean, it's kind of disgusting when you think about it, right? Because it's the guy's sweat combining with the dye or whatever. But yes, that guy is clearly 100% using a spray. Yeah, the evidence is definitely out there. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go out on X or on Instagram. Search for some of the Inside NBA and Jalen Brown. Like, I remember there's one where he went up for a jump shot and he came down on a defender, and then like the defender ended up with like a whole shoulder full of like the dye or whatever it is. But yeah, that's kind of disgusting. But yeah, nah, you're not gonna catch me slipping like that, casual economist. I'll just embrace it at some point. But let me know, guys, what is the appropriate like line? Like, obviously back here, that's terrible, right? I'm gonna be more self-aware. But at some point, you gotta say, okay, you've crossed over like some degree of the arc, right? That's too much. I don't think I'm there yet, but we'll see. Deadlord 9914, welcome. How are you? Deadlord, I want to say this is your first time here. I think I'd remember a name like that, but welcome. This is the Data Roundtable where we talk about anything related to data and sometimes not data. Right now, we're talking about hairlines. We're talking about algorithms for hairlines. Casual Economist says it is disgusting. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's the guy's sweat and the dye. Ugh, ugh. Deadler says, "You remember me? I used to see the lives." Oh, well, did you have a different username? Because Deadlord, I'm sorry, but the name is not quite popping up in my memory. Sometimes people change their usernames. Um, so I'm sorry, Deadlord, or did you go by another name? Because I see the at, which is not always the channel name, right? Casual Economist says they say when you have 5 or 6 head, you gotta cut it off instead of a forehead. They say when you have a 5 or 6 head, you gotta cut it instead of a forehead. What do you mean by 5 or 6 head? Like, like I could see if it was like a clock, like an 11 or 12, right? But 5 or 6, help me understand what you mean by that. Or do you mean like the shape of the head? Because I know that's another thing, right? There are some people who do not look good bald. I've been bald before. It's been a while. I used to do it in my 20s. But I mean, I know that I have a decent shaped head. Casual Economist says, I remember that username. Oh gosh, then I'm sorry, Deadlord. Then that's on me. I'm sorry, but I don't remember the username. My apologies, my friend. But thank you for coming back. Always appreciate when people come back. So Deadlord says, no, this is the same name I was using a long time ago. Okay, sorry about that. I used to ask about data engineering. Okay, okay. Sorry, guys. Early onset Alzheimer's over here, but I do not remember that. Sorry, my friend. Casual Economist seems to remember you, but yeah. But yeah, anything we can help you with, Deadlord, feel free. If you've been here before, then you already know our format. I'm willing to discuss whatever you'd like to do. Now I have work as a data engineer. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I'm happy anytime anybody gets work. So congratulations. Hope you're doing well. If feel free to share whatever you'd like as far as like, your job or what you're doing. Happy to hear about it. Casual Economist says it's kind of a joke, like your forehead turned to a 5 because of the hairline pushing back. Oh, okay. You're talking about this, like the widow's peak, right? I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have that. I call it the Ricky Ricardo because I heard that name once and I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I call it the Ricky Ricardo, and my dad is definitely like that. My dad, he's definitely like that. He's still got a little here, but yeah, his sides are bad, just like where mine are headed, right? Because my sides are obviously headed in a bad direction. Um, Casually conversation. Okay, yeah, I got that. And then is it Sudeep? Sudeep, welcome. How are you? Hello, sir. How's the future job market for AI students? Do you think bachelor's is AI, in AI is a good degree? Okay, guys, Sudeep is done. He doesn't want to talk about hairlines anymore. He wants to get right down to it. So Sudeep, you're asking an interesting question. It's a question I get a lot. So I would challenge you this, Sudeep. I want you to take your curriculum and I want you to compare it to other universities' curriculums. Look at their data science programs, look at their AI programs, look at their machine learning engineering program, whatever. I want you to look at those programs and then look at what they're studying and then look at what you're studying. And is there a difference? Because I would tell you that there is probably very, very little difference between all of those studies I just mentioned. So I'm going to encourage you to not get too caught up in, oh, this degree, that degree, you know, it's all the same, especially at the bachelor's level, right? Because if you were saying I'm in my master's program and I'm studying NLP, okay, yeah, you're going to have some unique courses, right? But at the bachelor's level, AI degree versus data science degree, it's all just marketing, right? And don't forget, universities have marketing departments too, right? And they know what's hot, they know what sells. So they're just selling a AI degree when it's really just data science, right? So try not to get too caught up in am I getting the right degree? As long as you're doing something data oriented, which obviously you are, I think you're going to be just fine. And by the way, I've kind of left that as an open challenge for anybody out there. If you do come across curriculums that are significantly different, please send me an email because I've never seen that and I look at curriculums all the time. I have yet to have anybody wow me like, oh, wow, that's a really unique program. Like, they're all the same. They're all the same. Couple variations, of course. Variations in who's teaching it, but it's all just data science, guys. Like I said, especially at the bachelor's level. So Deadlord says, Dennis, in my work in the data team, there's only one data science. The rest are data analysts or engineers. Is that something unusual? No, not at all. Not at all, Deadlord. Not at all. Yeah, Deadlord, I don't know how long you've been gone exactly, but that is something that I've said in my content at other times, right? People think you're going to join this big team and there's going to be data scientists and there's going to be like a visualization specialist and you're going to have these cool DBAs and like, somebody else to do the reports and documentation. No, teams are significantly smaller than that. I mean, I'm surprised you're not a one-man shop. I mean, you should be lucky to have any teammates. But there's plenty of data science jobs that are one person jobs. I know that because I did that myself and because I coach people now. I've said before, the second largest group of people that come to me for coaching are data scientists who don't have a technical manager and they don't have anybody else, right? They're the only data scientists and their manager is not technical, which is common. That's also a very common setup. And so they come to me and I basically play the role of their technical manager and kind of help them like, double check their work and guide them, right? So no, Deadlord, you should be just the fact that you have any teammates, it already puts you ahead of most data or in a different situation than most data scientists. And the fact that you only have one data scientist, not rare at all. Very, very common. Very, very common. So no, I think you're doing just fine. Yeah, I do remember you saying this stuff. Yeah, casual economist, I appreciate how such a long time supporter you are. So yeah, you're probably sick and tired of me saying some of this stuff. I appreciate you so much, my friend. Um, Sudeep says, I am really interested in studying about brain and neuroscience, but the course isn't available here. Since AI is inspired from the human brain, I chose AI, looking forward to combine AI and neuroscience. Okay, so Sudeep, there's only so much you're going to learn in a single AI program. So if you're really interested in that, you're really describing neural networks, right? Because neural networks are basically like trying to represent the human brain, right? So what you should be looking for, Sadeep, if you're really interested in this, is you should be looking at bioinformatics programs. That's really kind of like what you're describing. Bioinformatics is a lot more closer to what you're describing, right? Like more of a biology, neuro type of look at things. Um, you could do that, right? You could focus on neural networks in your undergrad, right? Which, you're going to probably learn anyways in most programs. Well, some programs do skip neural networks, which is a massive mistake, right? So you could do that in your bachelor's, and then in your master's, you could find a bioinformatics programs. There are bioinformatics masters, not common, but they do exist. Or just get like a biology degree in your master's, right? Get a master's in biology, master's in chemistry, or whatever, right? Whatever kind of appeals to you. But that's what you're going to be looking for, Sudeep. You're really describing bioinformatics, which I think is a great field, by the way. I'm fascinated by that field. I'm very bullish on how that field's going to grow. It has been growing, and I think it'll continue to grow. Right? Bioinform like that's not a small field. I'm talking about it like it's a small field, and it's not. But I'm very bullish on the growth for it. So that's really what you're describing. Thinking about doing masters in neuroscience. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Build your foundation in data science now, so that you know how to run studies and create algorithms, and then at the master's level, get yourself something that's a little bit more neuroscience related. I'm on board with that. I think that's a good plan. I think that's a good plan. So Deadlord, I love that you're helping out other people in the chat. I know a company that uses neuropsychology tracking electric signals in the brain. It's really complex and interesting. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Deadlord. There are many, many interesting companies doing stuff out there in neuroscience. Is very, very little question about that for sure. Thank you so much for giving your insights for free. Yeah, you're welcome, Sudeep. Um, so yeah, if you want to have a private conversation, I also offer one-on-one coaching. It's another service I offer. But yeah, I'm just here to talk data science all day because well, I'm not all day, every day, because I love it. So yeah, anytime you guys want to talk about it, feel free to keep on coming back, Sudeep. Pretty sure it's your first time, but yeah, I'm just trying to create better data scientists for the future of the field. Which, by the way, is kind of interesting because I keep I keep on getting people in my comments who complain about how rough I am in some of these answers and that I bash people's bad questions. So, you know what, guys? I'm totally okay with that. Not data science. I love data science. I want it to be a great field. I want it to have quality people in there. Doesn't mean it has to be a big field, right? So I love the guys that are in the chat now because all of you are taking a very methodical approach to how you're building your careers, which is great. But you know what? Data science doesn't have to be for everyone, right? I've been here a couple. Okay, Sudeep says I've been here a couple of times. I always end up watching pre-recorded streams. Well, thanks a lot, Sudeep. I appreciate that you watch. And gosh, I feel bad now because that's two people in the chat now that I don't remember from before. I'm sorry. Let's just make it three. Casual economist who? He's been here before? I don't know the guy. Yeah, well, thanks for watching the pre-recorded stuff. Some streams are longer than others, some streams are better than others. So I'm sure you've seen some of the some of the terrible ones too. But I appreciate you guys nonetheless. And you know what? It really encourages me when people come back, right? Because sometimes you think, oh, this person left or that person left, but it's nice to have people who come back because I know that life gets in the way, or you guys are working real jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just glad you came back, my friend. So thanks a lot for that. Yeah, casual economist who? Yeah, I'd like to welcome casual economist to the chat. It's his first day today. All right, guys, why don't you catch me over on Instagram? I'm gonna see what's going on over there. But thanks so much today. Really appreciate all of you. As always, please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I will see you tomorrow.